The proprietor of the German restaurant, a restaurant which has built a good reputation for soups around the city, is sticking to that letter which he penned to the press days ago about former President Jagdeo's damage to the People's Progressive Party civic, especially at the last elections. Clinton Erling, who was a PPPC candidate at the recently concluded general and regional elections, stated that he had many opportunities to observe and to interact with several members regarding the party's inner workings and infrastructure. He gathered that Jagdeo was in control of the party, its campaign, and general operations. Erland talked of how it will be a difficult task for the party if it continues on the current path with Jagdeo there.
All I repeated is what members who've been there in the party were reporting to me. They were all saying that Jagdeo, they blamed him for the loss of the elections, and they also felt that moving forward the party would be better off without him being the de facto leader.
That is Mr. Erling's perception. Mr. Erling in no way could have been associated with the PPP in such a short period of time, and to know all these things that he claimed about the inner workings of the PPP and so on. People meet with people and people talk and people formulate their ideas and their perceptions and so forth and so on. I've been with the PPP for a number of years, and at this point in time, as one of the longest serving members of the PPP, I wouldn't give much credence to what Mr. Erling says about, insofar as his understanding of the nature and the inner workings of the PPP is much more complex than he thinks.
After the People's Progressive Party civic lost the elections, Erling said many murmured behind Jagdeo's back or chose their words carefully when addressing any forum where he was present, but none would dare say to him directly how they felt. Erling says he is not and never was a member of the party. He says for now, any further association with the PPPC will require an exodus of Jagdeo from the party. Nevertheless, he still views the party as a good one.
The PPP is one of Guyana's first post-independent, even before independence, is the party that fought for to end colonialism in Guyana. It has a rich history, and I think moving forward the party has lots of strengths.
I don't think he's in a position to really pronounce authoritatively, let's put it that way. I don't think he's in a position to pronounce authoritatively on these matters. One would have to spend quite a considerable number of years in the PPP to understand the culture and the inner workings of the PPP. It's like someone going into the PNC in 3 months and understanding how the PNC functions. It's almost impossible. There's a history, there's a number of things one has to accumulate.
With several revelations surfacing about unwholesome administrative practices by the PPPC while in office, Erling would say this much about the party, that had it won, he might have been serving.
If the party has been involved or they linked to acts of corruption and whatnot, I don't want to be a part of that.
Considering the level of political maturity in Guyana, soup sale has not been affected, or at least that's how Erling puts it. He divulged that his decision to support the former administration has had nothing on that German soup. Handel Duncan, HGP Nightly News.